If you need an English proficiency exam result fast, then you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to compare the 3 most popular English proficiency exams and find out which one gives the fastest results. So let's get started. Hello, I'm Francis from Last Minute English, and in this video, we're going to compare IELTS, TOEFL, and Duolingo English Test and find out which one gives the fastest results. So let's start with Duolingo English Test, or DET. So DET is the newest of these 3, but it's getting more and more popular. So at the time of me filming this video, it's already accepted by 4,500 universities around the world, which is pretty good. And another advantage of DET is that you can take it in your own home. It's all online, so you don't have to travel anywhere, get on the subway, anything like that. And something pretty cool is that their normal result time is only 48 hours. That's right, just 2 days to get your results. Now that's an average time. Some people might have to wait maybe a day longer, but generally speaking, most people get their results in 48 hours. So if you need a result quick, that could be the right choice. But if 2 days is too long, there's an even faster version of DET. They have a faster results upgrade. You do have to pay a little bit more. So the normal DET is $59, or it's $49 if you pay for 2 tests. But if you want to get the even faster results, you pay an extra $29. And how fast do you get it for those $29? You get it within 12 hours, which is incredibly quick. So that's DET. Now let's compare with the more traditional exams. We've got IELTS and TOEFL. Let's look at IELTS first. So IELTS is very famous, probably the most popular English language proficiency exam. More than 3 million people take it every year, and almost any university in the world will accept IELTS. Now, when it comes to the traditional paper test, where you go to the university or you go to the test center and you sit down and you write on paper, that's the slowest type of results you can get. Usually that's about 13 days for your results. But IELTS have added more options in recent years. So they've got 2 different options, which are a little bit quicker. We have IELTS online, so that's just like DET. Everything is at home on your computer, including the reading test, the writing test, the listening test, and even the speaking test. So that will be in an online virtual conversation with the real examiner. So that's how it works. But the important question, how long does it take? How quickly do your results come? So for IELTS online, the normal time is 6 to 8 days. So it's still quite a lot slower than DET. And then the other type of IELTS exam is the IELTS on computer. So with this type, you go to the test center or the university and you write your answers and listen on the computer. And you also have the real face-to-face speaking test in the same room as the examiner. So really, it's just like the traditional test, just not on paper, but on computer. But what about the time? How quickly do the results come? So this is the quickest IELTS results, but it's still 3 to 5 days. So it's still quite a lot slower than Duolingo. And if you have to take the IELTS test, the bad news is that they don't have any options to upgrade and make your answer faster. The time is the time. But what about the price? How much does IELTS cost? So as we said before, DET is usually around $49 to $59, or maybe $29 extra if you want it very, very, very fast. IELTS is a bit more expensive. So here in the UK, it's around $250. In Germany, it's between $200 and $300. In Bangladesh, it's between $200 and $230. And in Rwanda, it's between $170 and $240. So There's a big range and you have to check how much it is in your country. But what it means is that you might pay up to 6 times as much to get your results like at least 3 days later. So we know now that the IELTS exam is a bit slower for the results than DET. But let's take a look at TOEFL, the third exam. So TOEFL is also very popular. It's a little bit more traditional and it's accepted in many universities around the world, particularly in America. It's very popular in America. So if you go to the TOEFL testing center for your test, your results will come in 4 to 8 days. But that's if you go to the TOEFL test center. They also have the TOEFL home edition, so you can stay at home and sit at your computer and take the TOEFL test. So what do we think? Everything online should be pretty quick, right? Should be a lot quicker than the going to the test center choice. But it's still 4 to 8 days. So we know that the TOEFL is a little bit slower than DET, but what about the price? Actually, it's also quite expensive. It's more expensive. It's usually around $250. And that's before any of the additional costs. So if you register late, that's an extra $40. If you need to reschedule your test, that's $60. And if you need to get extra score reports to share with universities or your parents, that's $25 each. So TOEFL pretty expensive. So overall, we can see that the cheapest choice and the quickest for results is definitely the Duolingo English test. But the reason that it's so cheap and that it's so quick is that it uses a lot of AI. It doesn't have a human element. And that's why it's still not as popular with universities as IELTS and TOEFL. But as AI gets more and more advanced, more and more universities around the world are starting to accept DET. So it's becoming a pretty good choice. So that is our summary of the result times for DET, IELTS, and TOEFL. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe down here. So we have new videos coming out all the time to help you prepare for IELTS, prepare for the DET, and also just reach high-level English. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Thank you for watching. See you next time.